I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, December 9th. I'm Matthew Woolsey. On our app, we ask you what you are most thankful for this holiday season. Answers include a healthy family, meeting friends online, and everything in life that makes you happy. Here at FST News, we are happy to know that our community continues to remain optimistic. Our last poll question of 2020 simply asks, what is at the top of your wish list this Christmas season? Log on to the FST News app to answer that question. We'd also love for you to submit photos of your holiday decorations. We'll feature some of them on our background. If you don't have our app yet, find us on the Google Play or Apple Store by searching FST News or Foothill Student Television.
Did you know that FST has a podcast hosted by Aiden Bennett and Diego Arenas where they talk about all the hot news around the Hill and more? Uploaded to watch every Saturday, FST's very own web manager, Hannah Thompson, talks to the people behind the screen.
We are really enthusiastic about it. Like, if you've seen some of our recent episodes, you see us just sort of being ourselves, not really holding back.
It's actually really fun, to be honest. I'm glad I got chosen for it. And the podcast, to me, it's a bonding experience.
Well, in a time like now, you definitely need somebody to be there that isn't your family. It's mainly about giving people sort of someone to talk to. People aren't making new friends. I feel like that's needed now more than ever.
People should watch the podcast because it gives them information that sometimes they need to know about the school, about how grading is going to go, discipline, stuff like that. And if they're just bored and they can just spend some free time, they can watch the podcast because we do not just talk about school. We talk about also real world stuff.
Come on there. Just hang out with us. It'll be a great time.
On our website, you probably noticed a click here button on the homepage. When you click on it, it will take you to the podcast page. The FST Nest podcast launched in October and has uploads up for every Saturday.
Bust out your best holiday apparel because this week is the Falcon Holiday Celebration. Today's theme is Ugly Sweater. Wear your most visually displeasing cardigan and attend classes while showing your holiday spirit. Thursday's theme is Pajama Day and Friday's is Falcon Pride, so be sure to wear blue. If you participate any of these days, be sure to post a photo of yourself and tag at Foothill Stew Co. Foothill is also hosting a gingerbread competition. Construct your confectionery cottage and email any photos to the email on screen, or post a photo into Instagram and tag at Foothill Stew Co. to enter.
During virtual learning, students have been questioning what will be happening to discipline as well when a student acts up. Assistant Principal Mr. Paul Zine explains what will be happening for virtual discipline.
During virtual learning, some students have questioned what is going on with discipline due to an online year. Mr. Polzing gives us the feedback on what is going to happen when a student gets suspended.
They work just like they do every year. If you warrant something that deserves an expulsion, then we would still hold all the necessary meetings, and that would just all be done virtually. Suspensions would be the same thing. So in regards to suspension and expulsions, all the rules still apply as they would in any other school year.
In the beginning of the school year, the admins did come across some problems towards the students.
A lot of what we have seen early in the year were students from other schools jumping into our Google Classrooms or vice versa. That's been the biggest problem that we've seen so far this year, but you guys have done a great job of eliminating that and making sure that that stuff has been discontinued.
Mr. Polzing wants to leave a positive message to all the students and teachers going through virtual learning.
I would just say keep keep on doing what you're doing. You guys are such a fantastic group of students, and we so appreciate the work that you're putting in every day and the work that the teachers and the staff are putting in every day. We're going to get through this together, and we're going to all grow from this. And I cannot wait until the day that we all get back together on campus, and it'll be great to see you all. And I know the rest of the admin team and all the teachers will be happy to see you all back as well.
Virtual school discipline goes the same way as it would if we were attending school. This is Victoria Rader reporting for FST News.
Students will be disciplined the same way as they would be in school. The only adjustment is that it will be online with Google Meets.
If you know a second language, apply for the Nevada Seal of Biliteracy Certificate and Medallion. If you read, speak, and write another language proficiently, whether you learned it from school or at home, you can get this certificate. It's called the NSOB, and you must apply by December 18th. For more information, email our counselor, Stephen Campbell.
Thanksgiving break was 2 weeks ago, and Christmas break begins next week. Many teachers are choosing to spend their holiday breaks home here in Vegas. Teachers say they miss family, but are finding the positives in staying home and local. They are using the extra time to plan ahead, grade early, and just relax. New teacher Miss Chaudhry says there are many activities she will just have to give up this year.
And if the pandemic wasn't going on, I would be going to the beaches. I would be enjoying buffet, meeting my friends.
This is a reminder to any interested juniors and seniors that you can earn school credit for having a job. Any juniors and seniors can turn in all paycheck stubs you have received from August to present day to Miss Wood in return for first semester credit. The deadline to do so is Monday, December 14th, so time is running out.
Are you struggling with school? Do you have something weighing you down? Your counselors are waiting to hear from you. They are ready to talk to you through whatever problems you're facing at 11:15 to 11:45 every Wednesday. The Google Meet code is on your screen. Visit and speak to them for a better school year.
Foothill High School's campus is almost completely empty as teachers have been asked to gather their things and return to teaching from home. Governor Steve Sisolak has recently encouraged Nevadans to stay at home while the health of the public recovers from the recent noticeable spike in COVID cases. Schools have been closing in light of this, sending their staff to work from home. Mr. Mayer is one of these educators working safely, and we asked him what he enjoys most about working from home.
Having an easy schedule where really I'm not having to drive home, honestly, not have to communicate, oh yeah, I got there safely, or hey, I'm coming home now. We're able to just kind of seamlessly go from work into our home life. Whenever one of us is maybe getting a snack, it's been really nice because we've been like making snack for another person. And just having that a little bit more of a close-knit relationship, it's a little bit easier to communicate about like what's going on when it's happening in real time.
Good morning, Falcons, and welcome to another episode of Hands On Gaming. I'm Aiden Manette, and let's get started. PS5 and Xbox Series X have finally been released. A few of the games that have been released for the PS5 and Series X already are Spider-Man Miles Morales, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and NBA 2K21. Resident Evil will also see its next major entry on both systems and PC sometime in early 2021. The prices for these two aren't a laughing matter. For the physical versions, you're gonna have to drop $500 or more. This leads into another huge issue going on called scalping, and involves one individual buying an item in absurd bulk and selling it back online for an extreme markup. The prices on the Xbox Series X and PS5 are insane. They can range from $700 to over $1,000 or more. So just wait until the demand calms down or when more consoles are available at retailers. Well, that's all the gaming news we have for you today, Falcons. Now back on over to the desk.
That's all the news going around the virtual campus today, Falcons. We're happy to bring the hill to your home. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at FST News.
Or check us out at fstnews.com. From all of us here at FST News, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you right back here on Wednesday.
At the beginning, we looked towards the end of the decade as a time to start anew. Things were looking promising until the events of 2020 truly unfolded. 2020 started out with Iran threatening the US with retaliation after our country ordered a drone attack on the prominent general Qasem Soleimani. After this occurred, some individuals were fearful of a war between us and Iran, with some even calling it World War III. Just when we thought tension cooled down, fires began to rage in Australia with almost 450 deaths and over 4,000 injured, as well as nearly 3 billion animals were killed or displaced by the fires. Arguably, the worst event to occur this year was the emergence of COVID-19 from China. The majority of people in the US were not ready for what was to come. Another pandemic akin to the flu in 1918 was an idea we tried to avoid, when even evidence became more clear. Unfortunately, as we all know, this is what we are living through now. After the pandemic spread to America, people began to panic and buy up water and toiletries. Supplies are still running low to this day. Shipping began to slow as well, as the majority of it was prioritized for hospital supplies. During these events, the government shut down schools and businesses, forcing people to quarantine in their homes. This led to mass unemployment, as many businesses deemed not essential were forced to lay off their workers. Masks became mandatory later in public. Attempts were made to slow down the spread of the virus with the phrase "flatten the curve." The effects of this were minimal, as cases began to increase rapidly. In the next few months, restrictions began to ease up, with states being able to move into their next phases. However, this did not last long. Hives of Asian giant hornets, or murder hornets, were sighted in the US, once again causing fear. The invasive species found its way into the United States from Japan. The eradication of these insects are still underway, but there is still uncertainty on how many there are left in this country. After the unjustified death of George Floyd, many protests sprung up across the nation against police officers who caused his loss of life. In Minnesota, violent riots occurred with the destruction and looting of large and small businesses alike, such as Target. How necessary the violence was is divisive among both sides. Regardless, the events which transpired caused a serious discussion about reforming the police department. A large explosion occurred in Lebanon, causing 202 deaths and more than 7,000 injuries. The explosion was caused by the ignition of ammonium nitrate, which was stored in the port of the Beirut at the time. After a long 2 years of non-stop national arguments about the next presidential cycle, the election finally arrived. Unfortunately, the results of it have caused a national divide, as each side claimed their candidate had won, some even claiming fraud in our country's voting system. Whether it be true or not, it appears to some the election may go on for a few more weeks undecided. Many mysterious structures have been popping up around the world. The majority of people have referred to them as monoliths. They may seem like just a reflective sculpture or prism, but that's not the importance. The mystery behind these structures is the fact that they seemingly popped up overnight without anyone to trace them. So far, the monoliths have been spotted at Atascadero and St. Louis Obispo in California, San Juan County in southeastern Utah, Isle of Wight Beach in the UK, Albuquerque, Romania, and even Fremont Street in our own Las Vegas. Not much else is known about the monoliths, but the mere existence of them have gotten people's attention. After all the hardships we faced, we must remember those who have died in this dreadful year, especially the one that hit some the hardest this year, that being the death of Kobe Bryant and his daughter in a tragic helicopter accident. We were hit hard with others this year, such as Jeopardy host Alex Trebek, astounding musicians Peter Green and Eddie Van Halen, the renowned judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and many others. We give thanks for all they provided us: entertainment, character, and national pride. It's safe to say this year has not lived up to the expectations the majority of people envisioned at the start of the new decade. However, those who are watching now, we made it. We survived 2020 and every hardship it threw left and right. We can only hope that 2021 will be a new year where we can finally start anew and even resume our normal lives after quarantine, and nothing else bad happens this year.